What up, YouTube? It's me, the artisan MC, with a little bit too much echo in my microphone. Oh, great, gracious, we're live. That'll be helpful. Um, Apologies for the stream starting late, you guys. Work is work, and I'm on call, like you guys know. I put it in the title, so of course I get that call right before I get ready to go live, like literally 30 minutes before. There's 3 calls. So I'm not necessarily happy right now, irritated. So like, share, subscribe, support the stream if you feel so inclined. I can look at the numbers and see nobody's in here. I will give this shit 15 minutes and then I will shut it the fuck off. Because, yeah, this ain't fucking charity over here. It's really easy for people to steal shit and blow up. But when it comes to the source, motherfuckers want to be stingy with it. So, yeah, that's a good way to start off with advertisers. Shout out to No One saying the Geek Elite assembled. He said delivering package last week in Cali, I would assume, was colder than a motherfucker. Yes, it was. What the hell y'all doing over there? We need a poncho and a parka. Yeah, it was pretty cold out here last week. It's been pretty cold for a little while out here. I think it's a wind coming from north, like Alaska or something like that. I don't fucking know. I haven't been watching the news at all. I've been too busy with my nose to the grindstone and taking care of what I'm taking care of. It's probably why I don't have that youthful grin. Fuck no. I don't. Start a Bad Batch. I get what you mean. The second season feels like filler. Yeah, it feels like a season full of fucking filler. Season full of filler. And I am not appreciative of that shit at all. Really not. Because I go to bat for this show. I do go to bat for John and Dave and their direction and possible direction. And what I'm seeing right now, they phoned this bitch in on this last season. Or at least Dave or John phoned it. Not John, but Dave phoned it in. This shit has nothing. You could miss all these episodes and still not get anything useful out of it. Like I said, the best part of what happened was that Mandalorian came on. That's the best part, because it kept me from having to watch Bad Batch again, because that shit was killing me. Let's see if anybody bothered to donate today. Since I can see they ain't bothered to show the fuck up. Shout out to Malika for the coffee money. Appreciate you, Malika. I will give you just a second. Praying hands and that 3B salute. Appreciate you, man. And shout out to the No One. Supporting the stream. Appreciate you, No One. I will give you that 3B salute. Appreciate Shout out to Malika. Salutations to all. I saw you were in here earlier. Said on your left with the Geek Elite. Appreciate you. Shout out to I'm Listening, who was in here early on time, but I started late, so it is what it is. I know other people got streams going on right now on a Sunday. Like I told you guys before, Sunday got real crowded all of a sudden. Everybody wants to do geek shit on a Sunday now. Used to be Saturday. Now it's Sunday. I don't wonder why. And I'm really curious what Grinch is talking about because Grinch, my motherfucker. I don't want to hear what Grinch talking about. Oh no, it must be something equally, well, not equally, because I'm not equating what Grinch got to say to this. Oh Jesus, wrong cut with Printella. Is that where everybody at on the fucking breakdown? That's some bitches talking. This is so fucking pathetic. So fucking pathetic. Pseudoscience of negation revelations. Damn, I do want to hear what Grinch got to say. I'm good to shut this bitch down. Do that. It's not like no fucking support anyway. What the hell, asshole? What the heck, asshole? Well, I guess I can thank him for this. Hey, artisan, keep up the reviews. Hey, please check out the movie Run, Sweetheart, Run. I own that one. Well, thank you for the donation. What the hell? What the had? What he had, asshole. Got it now. What he had, asshole. That sounds like an insult from somebody. Now I wonder. Is this some jerk off fucking with an ex who told him about my stream? That would be interesting. Let us see, since I'm about that shit. Let's see. See about the trolls. I do hate trolls. You have to tell me what the what that movie is about. And why do you think I should watch it? Because I've never seen you in here before, so you don't know my taste. And I always do reviews. I've been doing reviews for over 4 years, so I wouldn't stop. Really. Shoot game. What do you have that soul? I wonder if this is Mike Selby. I wonder if this is Mike. This reads like it might be Mike. Sorry, I have to get on my inspector shit to see who's what. Because I don't like trolls. So appreciated what soul I will give you that 3B salute. So you guys forgive me. I am a little pissy today. What up, BMT? Drive by, stop by. I guess that's just what it's gonna be. I've been on BGS's more channel frequently throughout the space. I move, I get out for the divestors. I haven't seen you there either. Not new to this shit. Been here since like 2014, 2015. Don't remember seeing you at all. But it's cool. If you've been here, maybe you've been one of them ninja watchers. Fuck fun. We got the AB Media showing up in here saying he beaming in. Where is my? I need my fucking Here we go. Shout out to the AB Media. Shut off, bitch. I tell you, one thing is a motherfucking other. AB, everybody keep raving about Picard season 3. Everybody keep raving about Picard season 3. I still have yet to purchase the Paramount Plus app to watch Picard season 3. I told y'all I was at my limit with streaming platforms. I'm not paying cable prices for streaming. And when you bundle up a bunch of streaming services all together, you're paying cable prices. I'm not doing it. I fucking refuse. I refuse. I'll probably give in at some point and just acquiesce. But yeah, if I based it on fucking support, I would never get that shit. That's why I work. But hope you're doing okay, AB. You bounced out last week after the house caught some bullets, so I didn't know what was happening with you, if you're all right or how you were handling that shit. But I assume it's handled. So, different energy today. Last stream of this season, off to a shitty start. What up, Arya? The chocolate witch is in the building. Oh, Dr. T. Dr. T showed up in here. Sorry I couldn't make it, Dr. T. I'm still pissed off about that shit on Friday. I'm still pissed off. I really am. I think I hung up on my supervisor that day. I think I did hang up on his ass too. Because I called him about some help. Because I was on call that day too. And some motherfucker let this emergency call go through and come to me for some sewage cleaning that should already been done during the day. And it went to me. So not only was I doing drywall on a ladder over a shower, putting that all in, I got that sewage call right after that. So I'm listening while I had to leave, go downstairs, go to my van, get my phone, text Dr. T to let him know, look, I'm not going to be able to make it, unfortunately. Go back upstairs, start doing this shit right when I'm finishing up, and talk to this person about, hey, this other call came in. Is anybody still here? I have to get lectured about I was supposed to be off the clock at 5. I don't want to hear that shit. So I hung up the phone. I'm only doing that job that close to the end of the day because them motherfuckers put that shit on me at that end of the day. Because they're trying to give it to me yesterday at the end of the day. And there's not enough time to do that in an hour. But they did that shit anyway the next day. And they continue to do this shit every fucking Friday. Especially every payday Friday with me and my schedule. And then made it worse. They sat there and lied to the fucking resident on the phone. So the resident is there pissed off at me, thinking I'm the one that didn't want to show up and do their job. So I'm a bit irritated nonetheless. And that just goes on the stack of the bullshit of people lying and wasting my fucking time that I've been getting all week. So, yeah. I wanted to be there for Dr. TSN because he asked me, and I take that shit seriously. And as I told another coworker, eventually people will let you down at some point, and you just have to accept the shit. They will. It's nothing against you. It just, look, life fucking happens in between what you plan to do and completion of said goal. Life happens. So you will get disappointed sometimes with people. That's just what it is. It doesn't have to be the end all be all for that person. Just understand that's fucking life. They can't control everything in life. They don't. You don't. You want to make it perfectly clear? I'm sure JDF really wanted to go out and promote that movie that he worked on. I'm sure he really wanted to promote that shit like a motherfucker. Some bullshit interfered. And now he out of here. I'm sure Tom Sizemore had a lot of plans of what he wanted to do the day after he had his aneurysm. The day after, the week after, the month after. He probably had some serious plans up front. But a brain aneurysm stopped all that shit, didn't it? And sitting in the hospital on, machines and shit like that, and not really being able to be in his full faculties anymore, kind of made that the end of his fucking journey. You don't think somebody's disappointed? No. They may understand a little bit and give him the caveat that, he fucking died. But they were disappointed, weren't they? At the end of the day, they were disappointed. So regardless of what you plan, sometimes you will disappoint people. That's almost unavoidable in life. Almost. Because there are so many things in life that are outside of your fucking control. And when those interact with you, disappointment will ensue. So here I am thinking about all the things I want to say and how much stuff I don't want to say because it might, hurt some feelings. Such reviews will never be right without your input. I appreciate that, Dr. T. I appreciate you saying that. It's just like you saying that is like me saying I want the masculinist point of view from Dr. T Hassan on this movie. That's the whole reason why I tapped you and BGS, because I've said it on here before. You guys bring something to the table that I do not. You bring a perspective to the table that I do not have. And I value that perspective, which is why I asked for it. That's why if I'm watching something, I may run it through all my filters. Geek, black man, father, all of that shit. Movie buff, all of that shit. I might run it through all those fucking filters. But I don't have the masculinist perspective. I do not have the esoteric perspective. Maybe I have a little, but I'm not up there where you guys are. So that's why I always rely on that knowledge from people who know more than me about shit that I'm talking about or want to talk about. And I leave it to you guys to have your point of view on it, because I crave that. So you saying that about me, I appreciate that. I'll take the sentiment today. I'm in a little bit of need of that shit, I guess. What up, Donnie Mac? Saturday was amazing. Creed 3 in the afternoon and Chris Rock for prime time. Yeah, I missed the Chris Rock. I bring my Fire Stick to work when I'm doing on call on the weekend. I bring my Fire Stick to work and hook it up in the break room. And Netflix is acting goofy in there. It does not want to work in there for some reason. I don't know what the hell it is. So because Netflix wasn't working, I didn't get to watch Chris Rock's thing yet. I haven't watched it yet. Now, the funny part on it is that shit is too bright, making me look white as fuck. And we all know this Negro is not white. Look at that. Fucking hands bleached out. Let's go to it's still white. Okay, we're going to the amber. So you guys know I went to see Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle when they came to San Francisco Live, right? And during Chris Rock's set, they were filming some stuff, right? They filmed it in black and white. They had a whole different scheme. So if you were watching it, they if you're watching it on the screens were showing in black and white, even though obviously you can see with your eyes in color. They were filming some of that for his special that was coming up. That's what I figured. Right. And then I heard about the Selective Outrage show coming up, and I'm like, okay, that should be hot because what he was saying there on stage, yeah, he had some shots at Will Smith. He did. But when I did my review of the concert, I wasn't gonna tell y'all that shit. It was kind of a spoiler. That's the point of being there, isn't it? So I was waiting to see this Netflix show, and this is the one that came out. So I was disappointed. All right, Netflix disappointed me, or the internet here disappointed me when I couldn't watch it Saturday, and haven't had a chance to watch it today because it wasn't working today either. And then you know, shows and calls and shit like that. That all started happening. So it has been, a banner fucking time with being in touch with the. Who was trying to get in this door? 1 second, you guys. There we go. Oh, okay. Well, I'm doing they didn't say somebody was dead in here again, did they? Who said that shit before? All right, y'all. No, this is. All right, y'all. That was my new manager came through. So where are we at? Creed 3. So I wanted to see Chris Rock, but no, I didn't get to see that show yet. Um, Likewise, I went back because I didn't get to see the Chris Rock special. I went back and watched Creed 1 and 2 again to refresh my memory, just to put some stuff that Dr. Tia-san, and I'm going to sound really pissy on this, but I probably shouldn't mention his name because the motherfucker never mentioned him. Even though I see going back, looking through some content, motherfucker got real copycat. And that might be all right if a motherfucker would say your name, but they don't. I'm getting that angry man feeling. I'm starting to feel like angry man right now. Like the motherfucker people don't want to mention, but they copy your shit. So some of the points that they raised during that were interesting because it was some of the stuff that I heard in my own reaction, but also it was stuff out there taken from other people's reactions. But there were some good points made in that. So I went back and watched it because I missed something that Dr. Tia-san mentioned about Pretty Ridley, Pretty Ricky Conley being the first guy that Adonis fought in Creed 3. And I hadn't forgotten all about that dude, obviously, because I didn't catch that. But it had been a while since I had seen the first movie. It hadn't been as long since I saw number two, but it'd been a while since I saw number one. I had to remember, like, oh yeah, that was the main dude. My bad. My bad all over. But as Dr. Tiasan has suggested, going back and watching the other two and then watching number three is helpful. And I usually say that, but I didn't this time. Dr. Tiasan said it. I don't have a problem mentioning where I got shit from. So I did go back and watch one and two again yesterday, back to back, or Friday night, early Saturday morning. And it put together a lot more for me, and it really solidified my position that Rocky didn't need to be in the third one. He didn't. As I said in my reaction, this was Adonis's movie to be his own man. He was supposed to stand on his own by the third movie. He did not need his mentor there. Now, I do agree that his mentor could have shown up when Marianne passed. It would have been useful for him to show up. But I am firm in my position as number two ended, as Creed 2 ended, with Rocky going up to Vancouver and kind of mending fences with his son Robert and getting to meet his grandson. Rocky should still be up in Vancouver. All these years later, he should still be up in Vancouver, mending his relationship with his son. That was a nice bookend, especially when you think about it in Creed 2. Once Adonis had beat Drago, Victor Drago, Rocky didn't come into the ring. He didn't. He told him, it's your time. It's your time. And what did Rocky do? Set his ass down in one of the chairs. That's the handoff. That is the handoff. It is Adonis's time. So there's no hard feelings for me getting into Creed 3 and not seeing Rocky there. Not. Because as I've said many a time, it's not Rocky's fucking movie. It's a Creed movie, right? So if it's a Creed movie, why do you need Rocky there all the time? He was there for two. He doesn't need to be there for the third one. And as I pointed out, the third Creed movie kind of works like Black Panther number one. This is when you stand on your own and show the man that you are. You solve your problem for yourself, especially when you're mentoring younger fighters. It's time for you to be the one to have the answers and not be the one still looking to somebody else for the answer. It was a problem that Adonis had to solve for himself. Why? Because it's the first person that he was going against, in a sense, that didn't have anything tied to Rocky. This was his past that he was dealing with, not Rocky's, not a derivative of Rocky's. And that brought something fresh to the story because it was Creed's story and not anything tied up in Rocky. So I'm not mad about that at all. And just to point out how much that sense that actually makes. There's been talk of a Drago spinoff, right? Do you expect to see Rocky in a Drago spinoff? Do you expect to see Creed in a Drago spinoff? And if so, if it's successful, how many times do you expect to see Creed in a Drago spinoff before it's just Drago? And will you refer to the Drago spinoff as a Creed movie or a Rocky movie? Dr. T, it's on true, but I can't lie. I've been waiting for any excuse to see Clubber Lang again. I can understand that. Clubber Lang was one of those iconic Rocky. I wouldn't even call him a villain necessarily, but one of them rivals, one of those classic Rocky rivals, right? Just like Apollo was. He was a classic rival who became his friend, right? I look at that Clubber Lang not being there in the same way I look at why The Walking Dead did not follow the comic specifically. You know why? Because if people know the story that you're going to tell ahead of time, there's no interest in watching it. In this time of social media where everybody wants to pretend like they know every goddamn thing about everything just because they can go back and get the cliff notes, what point is there to put out something that people already know what's going to happen? What point is there? You got to give them something different. You have to. You have to give them something different and not go in the same path that they've already seen again. Especially in the age of everybody got a YouTube camera and want to review some shit. They'll ruin the whole movie, wouldn't they? So you have to move in a different way. I would not, even as much as I like Mr. T, I would not want to have seen Clubber Lang in the next movie. That would have ruined the shit for me. It would have ruined the Creed franchise for me because it never would have been about Creed. It would have always been about Rocky's greatest hits. And I'm not watching a Rocky franchise. I've watched the Rocky franchise. I'm a fan of the Rocky movies. But this is supposed to be the Creed movies, the spinoff from the Rocky movies. And I like seeing Rocky there, mentoring one of his greatest rivals and his greatest friend, mentoring his son. I like seeing that. I like seeing him mentor him in the second movie where he's just trying to come out from under that shadow and fighting the demon of the person who killed his father, getting that specter off his name and off his shoulder. Yes, I like that too. Did I want to watch another Creed movie and he's fighting Clubber Lang's son? So I guess by that logic, the fourth movie is just going to have to be Tommy Gunn or some shit like that, right? No, no. This is one of the things about watching media that I detest nowadays, and it's how much they always remake shit. Why? Not just because their remakes are always crappy, worse than the original. The other reason is when they do a remake, they cheapen the original product. Why do you think KK always gives you guys another version of the same stuff George Lucas has already done? It's like reformatting a computer. She's overlaying her new image over the old image to erase the old image. And it's never of superior quality. It's not. That's why Rey looks the way she does, to overwrite Luke Skywalker. His look and everything. So a remade version of a Clubber Lang would have cheapened the performance that Mr. T gave as Clubber Lang. I'm fine with Mr. T always getting the credit for that character. I'm fine with that. Then I don't have to share it with anybody else. He doesn't have to share it with anybody else because he gets the credit he deserves for the work he put in. See, the problem nowadays is so many people want to copy shit. They get used to the copies. and never have to give credit to the originals. Michael B. Jordan didn't come in playing a new version of Adonis Creed. Excuse me, a new version of Apollo Creed. He came in playing Adonis Creed, his son, which means he can be different. Victor Drago didn't come in playing Ivan Drago. He came in as Victor Drago. That means that character can be different. You just did somebody's son in the last movie for Creed, Ivan's son. You gonna go back to the well again with Clubber's son or his daughter? No fucking way. That'd have been garbage. That was a no sell. Even talking it out loud, it's a no sell. And even with him not being in this movie, everybody still was trying to relate it to Clubber Lang, because every goofball who only knows the sequence of Rocky movies thinks that's where they're gonna go. And then when they didn't, it's like they disappointed. No, fuck no. It was a smart move, a very smart move on Michael B. Jordan, the writers. I don't know whose part, but it was a very smart move to take a hard left from following the Rocky franchise and go in their own direction for this character. So the Creed character, the Adonis Creed character, can stand on his own in every sense. Now, you could still say that his version, Adonis Creed's version of Clubber Lang, was Dame Anderson. You could say that. This is his Clubber Lang. Because some of the stuff he did in the movie was still Clubber Lang like, except for hitting on his chick. Other than that, he was his rival. He was his rival, straight up. And wanted a shot, just like Clubber wanted a shot. The difference, though, is in an anime fashion. You saw Michael B. Jordan step into the Goku role and have Dame be his rival, who was once his friend, in a sense. And in that sense, they would be closer to Naruto, to where it's Sasuke and Naruto, where they were friends, but they end up as enemies. But eventually, they'll end up as friends again. Because in anime, that is a trope that always happens. One of my absolute favorite anime, Gungrave, is like that. You got Harry McDowell and Brandon Heat. And Brandon Heat and Harry McDowell were both in an orphanage together. And they used to get beat up by the person who worked there. Now, when they got older and got out in the streets, they got really tough and eventually got into the mafia and ascended the heights of the mafia together, watching each other back. But at an impasse, Harry killed Brandon because he believed Brandon betrayed him. And in anime fashion, he came back from the dead to take out his homeboy. But even at the end, he couldn't kill his homeboy because that was still his homeboy. He just wanted to wake his ass up, let him see what he was doing. He didn't want to kill him, he couldn't. That'd be like Magneto killing Xavier. Magneto ain't never killing Xavier. He don't want to kill Xavier, that's his homeboy. He wants him to see he's right, but he ain't gonna kill him to make him see it. He's gonna let him live long enough to see it. Yeah, Goku, Majin, Vegeta. That's already been repeated. It's already been said and repeated. Ken and Ryu, absolutely. Friends who are rivals. To understand it, take it to hip hop. If you know the story of Outkast, who were Big Boy and Andre before he was Andre 3000? Who were they? They were rival rappers in high school. They always rapped against each other. Always. That's who they were. But after getting out of high school, they decided to team up and combine their strengths instead of always just battling each other. And they formed the group Outkast, one of the greatest hip hop duos. That blend of creativity is what made them better. Even though either one by themselves is awesome, but blending those two together, oh, something special. Something special. So for me, I didn't need Clever. I didn't need Rocky. I didn't need this third movie to be anything like anything else Rocky. We were done with it. It is doing what it should do. Spin the fuck off. So no, they don't need to fall into the same trap. Rocky has had his run, and it was time for him to sit down. And Sylvester Stallone knew that in the second movie. Now, I still haven't done my review of this movie, and that's why I watched one and two before I went and did my review for it. So it'll probably come. Probably will. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. Um, but I will say, I understand Stallone's beef is with people behind the scenes, but I don't judge this movie on what any other Rocky movie should have been. I don't judge it on the same scale of Rocky movies. Why? Because it's not a Rocky movie. I sat here and listened to other reviewers review this movie, and the one thing that I kept hearing that I couldn't divorce from my hearing is them never judging this movie as its own series of movies. They always wanted to line it up next to Rocky movies and always refer to it as Rocky movie, even though Rocky is not the star of this shit. And that's a problem to me in people's fucking thinking and perception. They're never able to accept what is new without relating it to something else that it is not. It's not a Rocky movie. Never was. Yes, it's a spinoff of Rocky stuff. Yes, Rocky was in it. Yes, one of the people that he fought was a Rocky villain's son, one of Rocky's rival's son. So fucking what? It was never a Rocky movie. If it was, it would have been all fucking Rocky, wouldn't it? It needed that separation. It needed to go its own way. And it needed that character of Adonis to grow up into his manhood. And he is. You should do that by the third movie. What, you think he's supposed to do it in the fourth one? What up, Artie Idmore? Doughboy in the building. Good to see you. It's been a minute. I'm missing my homie. I wasn't talking about Clubber's kids or a fake Clubber with someone else playing him just to see what some of these cats are doing now. Is he homeless? Is he a pastor? You need a Rocky movie for that shit. Just saying. Because Creed has no connection to Clubber. and you would have to force one to get him to have that character even interacting with a clubber. I mean, at that rate, why don't they bring back Thunderlips? Why don't they? I mean, Mr. T did give Rocky a hellified fucking beating, but you have to try really hard to make a connection between Rocky, Clubber, and Creed. And even a look in on the character, it's still just associated with Rocky. It has nothing to do with Creed, nothing to do with Adonis. I don't even think shit did Apollo even see um, Clubber? Did they even share a scene in a Rocky movie together? Show up to the fight and see it or anything? I don't think so. Electra Tyrone, spoiler alert. Oh, look, whatever this time on this one. You know I don't like doing spoilers, but whatever on this shit. Dr. T got a whole stream that it was spoiler heavy already. People already spoiled the movie. It's a boxing movie. Somebody got their ass beat. Spoiler alert. Somebody won, somebody lost. And the person that leaded the franchise won. Spoiler alert. Somebody else pointed this out is that it's a boxing movie. It's a sports movie. It's pretty fucking straightforward. There's not a lot of twists and turns happening. How you get to Creed winning might be a little bit of a story, but that part has already been spoiled by other people. So it's nothing to not tell you. BMT said, believe it or not, it is uncommon for friends and trained partners to fight in the ring or compete. I call bullshit. My best friend, the godfather of my children, we met each other because we used to fight each other. He was tall and he used to try to bully me, and I used to body slam his ass in the gym because I grew up with my cousins and older cousins at that. And I learned some shit because they didn't play with me like I was a kid. They played with me like I was one of them. Which means you get punched in the stomach, nigga, you got punched in the motherfucking stomach. You got hurt, you got hurt. That's just what it was. So I wasn't in for all that bullying shit. I learned a few things. And one of which was to take a bigger guy over my shoulder and throw him on his back home. No one said Kree would have been Gohan without living in the shadow of Goku. Goku Rocky doesn't keep coming back. This is true. I could agree with that. No one. I could agree with that. He would be Gohan, but Gohan kind of went simple. That's why I wouldn't use Gohan. But the rivalry between a Vegeta and a Goku is always present. And I just struggle with that because I know Michael B. Jordan really loves Vegeta. And that's a Vegeta kind of thing to do, to always be competing with Goku. I don't think Goku actually give a shit, but I am not super versed on Dragon Ball. I'm not. I've watched it. I watched a lot of it, but I don't go to bat for it like that. I would refer anybody to Angry Man to talk about Dragon Ball Z and go in depth. That's what I refer people to, because he has proven to me he know this shit backwards and forwards. Or Art of Ibmore, because he watched enough fucking anime. Verifiable. Big Boy wanted to keep going, and Andre was like, I just like music, and he was ready to fall back. I saw a documentary on what happened to Andre 3000, and they had him on camera, and he was looking really rough. And he got tired of it. He got tired of the commercial side of it because it wasn't about the art anymore. It wasn't about the art. And I totally understood that. Andre 3000 is an artist. Closest approximation in any other musical genre would probably be Prince. He is an artist. And for an artist, when it's just about the money and all of this just for show, nothing deep, it's no fun anymore. You'd rather not fucking do it than to do it and have to stand there on this mark and do this shit just to play like you're doing it. An artist does not want to live off his past successes. He wants the next mountain to climb. He wants the next inspiration. And from what I was seeing in the documentary, nothing else was inspiring him. It was not inspiring him. Big boy like money. That's not a secret. He do. Why would he stop? When he getting money. Andre 3000 is a Gemini. Put that shit together for yourself. And he was mixed up with Erykah Badu, which probably made his ass a little bit more crazy anyway. So it is what it is. But I understand why he stepped away. Does it suck? Yes, it does suck. But as an artist, you have to maintain your fire. And if your fire is constantly having water thrown on it, then it's better if you're not there. Because that's not going to maintain it. It's not. They want the lesser version of you. That's not going to be good for an artist. I'd rather he went away from the shit than to go crazy and be swinging from a rafter somewhere. Because now he feels like he has spent all his time doing this, and this is not who he is anymore. This is not who he was, not liking himself in the mirror. Fuck that. I like my living artists. Even spinoffs have Easter eggs, especially for longtime fans. Yes, spinoffs do have Easter eggs. What up, Elongo? Savage in the building. Hard to separate when the film doesn't fully do that. He's still Apollo's son. He's still boxing. And he's still a montage. Any fighting movie usually will have a montage. You have to show people get better. Montage is not something just from Rocky. It's just what you do to show progression over time in a short manner. I mean, you can see it in a kung fu movie. They ain't got shit to do with Rocky movies. So that, yes, he's still boxing. $1 Million Baby was boxing too. She don't know shit to Rocky. And he's still Apollo's son, yes. But how long is he supposed to only be Apollo's son and have to have Rocky there? Apollo trained Rocky for Clubber. I thought that was Duke who trained Rocky for Clubber, not Apollo. And Duke was Apollo's trainer. But I don't remember Apollo having a scene with Clubber. I don't remember that. But I can always go back and watch it to find out. But that's a lot to say for saying why Clubber or Rocky needed to be in the third movie. I don't think it needed either one of them. Got to make the break somewhere. Appreciate you, BMT, for supporting the stream. A lot of questions. All right. Appreciate you, BMT, for the question. And using the super chat for the question. Sylvester Stallone said on the red carpet that he gave the director Michael B. Jordan his blessing in the franchise. He was letting them flow. Michael movie. Yeah. So I tried to make it clear that Sylvester Stallone doesn't have any smoke for Michael B. Jordan. That's not what it is. Sylvester Stallone has smoke with one of the Winklers behind the scenes. The person who, as I've not read it, heard it, has basically taken his franchise from him and cut him out of it. Characters that he created and put together. That is some bullshit. And that's what I will ride with Sylvester Stallone on. But he don't have any smoke for Michael B. Jordan in his franchise. He doesn't. He has smoke for the motherfuckers behind the scenes trying to take his baby from him. I will ride with him on that. I will ride with him all day on that. Fuck that dude. Shout out to Aquateki. So BMT, let me give you the 3B salute. Appreciate you, BMT, for using the super chat in the question, the comment. I will give you that 3B salute. Appreciate it. Appreciate you, BMT. You can smash that like button, smash that like button, smash that like button. Appreciate you, sir. And to Aquateki, number one wrench showed up in the building. Appreciate you, Aquateki. I will give you that 3B salute. All right. And shout out to the Beastly Nerd coming through. Appreciate you, Beastly. He said the danger room is open. I absolutely agree, Beastly. Probably need to make that a little shorter. That klaxon went on too long. Shout out to you, Beastly Nerd. Appreciate you. I will give you that 3B sweets as well. So, you thought that was funny? Yeah, you thought that shit was funny. Look, man, I try to do things for my friends, people I consider friends. I do what I can, show them some respect. Yeah, just two Aquateki. I had to gather my stuff for my review. I'm gonna have to go back to doing my old school reviews. So, that's it for Creed. I mean, I like the movie. I really did like the movie. I thought about going to see it again Friday, but I didn't. Maybe I'll go see it again so I can catch the rest of the trailers that I missed in the beginning. Because I saw one trailer. One trailer caught my eye that I didn't hear anybody mention. And it was the one for the Michael Jordan being made by Ben Affleck, starring Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. What is it called? I think it's called Air. And I'm like, well, that promises to be pretty good. Let's see. I saw another Guy Ritchie movie, and Operation Fortune is out right now. I forgot it came out on the 3rd. I need to go see that shit. That's what I need to go to the movies and see. And if today is slow, I will go to the movies and go see Operation Fortune because I do like Guy Ritchie movies. The other Guy Ritchie movie I saw, trailer I caught before the Creed movie was Jake Gyllenhaal, and I think he's in Saudi Arabia or something like that. It's called The Covenant. That shit looked good too. Another Guy Ritchie movie. That looks pretty good. What is it called? Air Courting something or other. Comes out April 5th. I'll check that shit out. I like Ben Affleck. He does good as a director. And actually, that's actually a good comparison if you want to do the Creed movies. Because I was telling you guys, started telling you how I judge the Creed movie. I judge the Creed movie based on the fact that it's a first time director directing a movie, an actor turned director directing a movie. And I judge it next to other actor first time director movies. Right? I don't judge it next to the other Rocky movies because the people that did the other Rocky movies were not first time fucking directors. They were established directors. I don't even remember if Sylvester Stallone directed one of those Rocky movies. It might have been number 5, the one that was shitty, if I can remember correctly. I think it might have been number 5. One of y'all got Google fingers out there. Y'all can look that shit up. I'm doing a stream right now. I'm not going to look it up. I'm using my gray matter, not the interwebs. So y'all look it up. If Sylvester Stallone directed one of the Rocky movies, and if he did, was it number 5? I think it was. But judging Michael B. Jordan on his directing prowess in this movie, that's what I judge it next to. Other first time directors. Because it's your first offering. So in that vein, did a hell of a lot better than Charlie's Angels by Elizabeth Banks. Right? I think it did better than Rob Zombie, who wasn't even an actor, directing that Halloween movie he did, right? Money wise, it probably did better than Boondock Saints, which that guy was a first time director, not an actor. He just wrote it and he directed it. So in company like that, he said Rocky 2006 was his, so just Rocky, just the Rocky movie. What was that, number 6? Was his? Okay. And I trust him to know the characters since he made the motherfucker up. So that's what I judge it next to. And I thought it was a good movie. For a first time director, I thought it was a good movie. And one of the critiques I heard is that it was, a kind of a movie by the numbers, like, oh, it just hit all the regular beats. I'm like, he's a first time director. Should it not hit all the beats on the first movie? Or should he start taking risks right out the gate on the first movie? He's just supposed to have this totally developed style right in the first fucking movie. Is that it? See, it's not enough to just hear what people say. You got to listen to what the hell they're saying and what they're not saying. And the critique of a first time director, his first movie, of that movie following it by the numbers, to me is not even a fucking critique. It's not. It's like a kid learning how to walk, and then you finally took your hands off of it, and he took 3 steps in the same direction you did. Like, oh well, he followed the feet on the floor for 3 steps. Oh my fucking goodness. Whatever would he ever do now? Were they? 2, 3, 4, and 6 were directed by Sylvester Stallone? Get the fuck out of here. How do I forget that? 2 through 4 were also directed by Stallone. How? I don't remember that. Let me look this shit up. I do not recall that shit at all. Did he get director credit on the shit? Because I didn't think he directed all of those. It lists him under directors. Let's see, because I don't remember '76 Rocky being directed by his ass at all. That doesn't even make any sense. No, it wasn't. Rocky, 1976. Screenplay, Sylvester Stallone. John G. Avildsen. Let's see, Rocky 2. Director Sylvester Stallone. Screen by Sylvester Stallone. Get the fuck out of here. Unawares. Unawares. Yeah, he got credit on all of those. Okay, so was this as good? Was this Creed as good as Rocky 2? I stand corrected. I didn't know that. Hey, what the fuck? Sooner or later. No, like I told you guys, I don't know everything. I know a lot of things, but I don't know everything. Holy shit. Well, I guess he wouldn't have a problem with Michael B. Jordan directing shit now, would he? The first Rocky says that's what the credits say on it. John G. for Rocky 1. But yeah, two and the rest of them. Shloy. It is his shit. Right on, Beast. Thanks for good catch. Good catch. Good catch. Like I said, I don't know every fucking thing. I can be wrong on something. So yeah, he wouldn't have a problem with Michael B. Jordan directing shit. He been doing it. So judge it next to first time director. Rocky number 2. Was it as good as Creed 3? He didn't direct 5? Yeah, okay, so that wasn't his. Good one. He was given share credit. Well, if he did the screenplay, it's his character. It's hard for him to be directing when he was doing Rambo and Tango and Cash, 80s and 90s. He was too busy. 80s and 90s, he was too busy. He was doing movies back to back to back. Demolition Man, Cliffhanger, was it The Specialist or whatever with Sharon Stone and James Wood? Assassins. He was doing a lot of shit. He was doing a lot of movies right in that time frame. A lot. Oh, fucking Judge Dredd. He was doing some bangers too. Judge Dredd, Cliffhanger, and Demolition Man all came out like I think he filmed them all in the same year or some shit like that. He was getting it. So that's cool. Glad y'all got involved in doing that little YouTube search. You gotta go back and watch a movie and be doing that shit. Everybody loves trying to prove somebody wrong. Get your support on that. So, moving on from Creed talk, I will have to do my actual review. It'll probably take a while, given time constraints. But it is what it is. Moving on to some other geek shit. It was a good movie. Should probably go see it. I will go and see this Michael Jordan movie by Ben Affleck. I think it'll be interesting. And I will see The Watcher and this other Guy Ritchie movie, The Covenant. I will go see those. Yeah, Daylight was the other one that he did. That's another little lesser known one where we're trapped underground and shit. Been a Sylvester Stallone fan for a long time, so I have seen a lot of his fucking movies, even back to Nighthawks. So I don't have a problem watching his damn movies. or knowing what I don't know about certain things. Cobra, another classic. Everybody want to jump in with what they know now. But I do got my Creed notes. You can't see it because glare. But I took enough notes because I was into the movie, but I took enough notes because I like recording my thoughts. So, like, share, subscribe, support the stream if you feel so inclined. I was looking for 10 contributors. I got about 6 now between Cash Apps and Super Chats. But there could always be more. Sylvester was making classic. He helped the concept, but him and Arnold had Hollywood action rivalry that built the action franchise. Yeah, I have to think about your comments sometimes because you say this shit like you telling me like I wasn't there and didn't realize that. Are you saying it for me or for everybody else? I know this. I was there. I'm old enough. I'm aware. There's a 30 for 30 on Sony that covers all the major shoe deals. Okay. This one is about the guy, I guess, who came to find Jordan and thought of this whole marketing plan for Air Jordan shoes and stuff like that. So it's basically Nike centric, right? These people were working at Nike who came up with the idea and stuff. Now, it does seem like it takes a bit away from Jordan, but if you were buying tennis shoes back when the first Jordans came out and can remember going into a shoe store and seeing all those posters and stuff like that up on the walls and how they advertised shoes back in the day, you can tell how the marketing campaign for Nike and Jordans was different. That was the first, blow up like that. Because I can remember going into, was it World of Shoes in San Pablo? And World of Shoes was a round store in El Portal shopping center. And when you went in there, they had this big Michael Air Jordan poster, right, for the first shoes, the G1s, first Jordans. And that's where I got my first Jordans from. And they had that poster on the wall where it was just his back with his arm stretched out like this, holding a basketball with one hand. And they had that poster up around the damn ceiling to show how long his arm span was. And that's where my mother got me and my brother our first pair of Jordans. And I got black and red Jordans. That was cool. But that was some different stuff at the time. We're in the chat. You're reading reaction. I forgot Artisan's timeless reaction is different from the panel above position. Timelessness reaction. I don't know what you meant by that. But you forget that I'm an old dude. Not in my 30s. You've been around a while. What up, Herb? Herbert, stay all day. That's what usually gets me. I don't like people telling me shit. Shout out to D. Anderson coming through. Appreciate you, D. Anderson and Joe Herb jumping on the board. Appreciate you, Herb. Actual factual. I know y'all can hear all of this hard tapping. I at least quieted the alert. So, shout out to D. Anderson. I will give you that 3B salute. Appreciate you, D. And to my boy Joe Herb, I will give you guts and butts. Appreciate you.
Money for the crowd, double lag. Pussy on fat, double lag. 100 on the sack. Money for the crowd, double lag. Pussy on fat, double lag. 100 on the sack, double lag. Block like a ghost town, still double bag.
Double up, 3 or 4 times, I ain't telling no lies, running up. Never let a hard time what it was.
It's funny, I moved so close to the Wi-Fi and it just keeps going in and out. Like a good Wi-Fi signal is the fucking bane of my existence right now. Next to audio. You didn't learn what Jordans were to the 90s. Yeah, you probably jumped in on the G3s or some shit like that. It's okay. You get in where you get in. I can tell you this. The first pair of Jordans I got was the only pair of Jordans I ever had. Never bought another pair of Jordans. I've never bought a pair of Jordans. My first and last pair of over $100 shoes was my King Griffey's. I don't buy Nikes traditionally because Nikes are not cut for black folks' feet right. They're cut too narrow. So I don't buy Nikes. I'll buy Reeboks, I'll buy Adidas because they cut for wider feet. But that's why I don't buy Nikes, because they cut for narrow feet. It's nothing against Jordan at all. I've liked a lot of the pairs of Jordans that I've seen that came out. 13's the one that Kadeem Hardison used to wear on It's a Different World. I like those versions too. I've liked a lot of styles of Jordans. I just don't buy it. I just don't. Don't put my feet right. And after my King Griffey's, that was the last pair of over $100 pair of shoes I bought because I thought it was stupid. So I stopped. Now, I'll buy $150 pair of work boots because I'm going to earn over $150 wearing those damn boots while I'm working. I'm not buying that for some fucking tennis shoes because I don't play basketball professionally. So I don't see the point. My thing is function over form. I got to get that much use out of it. I still grew up in the era where you had different types of shoes that you wore for everything. You have your dress shoes that you wear to church or some nice event. You have your tennis shoes that you wear just to kick around the house and stuff like that when you're not at work. You have your work boots or whatever that you wear to work and stuff like that. You bought stuff for different purposes. So for me, especially in my off time, it was going to have to be some cross trainers or something like that. And they were usually some Avias or something like that, but they weren't Nikes. They didn't. That was crushing my feet. Little narrow shoes. I'm not Asian, so didn't do that. Yep. I'm not even partial to that. That is my fucking preference. I need my foot to stretch out because I have arches. I'm not an archless fucking flat foot, and I wasn't trying to be either. Yeah, exactly. Footwear follows function. I told you guys I used to work in a community center, right? So it was the funniest shit in the world to understand this and explain this to a little kid whose mama spent her little check money on buying her son Jordans, and he out there on the painted blacktop in sand, running all over the place in them Jordans, fucking them the hell up, fucking them the hell up. Now the kid's only about 8 years old. The mother on some kind of assistance ain't got a job, right? And I thought it was dumb as hell to spend that much money on that boy's shoes, and he out here just playing like any other regular kid, and he don't know the difference between $150 and $40. He don't know the difference. You know, he out here playing in the sand and fucking up a really expensive pair of shoes. He don't know that. He just know he out here playing with the rest of these kids. But the other thing is that when he tried to stop on that blacktop, that motherfucker slid like nobody's business. Why? Because the soles aren't for playing on blacktop. The soles are for playing indoors on gym floors with a coating on it. Function follows form. Jordans are for being played basketball on a court, an indoor court, hardwood. They're not for your ass being outside on the blacktop in the sand. That kid ripped his goddamn pants and fucked up his shoes. Costly. But that's what happens when you get flash over function. That's what happens when you put that shit first. Yeah, I get it. Dude, the shoes I have right now that I wear all the time are comfortable. Comfortable as fuck. You know why they're comfortable as hell? Because they're made for people who work on their feet all day, damn day. And they have arch support, you know. Ain't fucking Nikes. They're not. They look like it. They're not. Comfortable as shit. My work boots, same thing. Gotta be comfortable. Jordans are the equivalent to dress tennis shoe. I wouldn't even say that. I say Jordans are equivalent to the top of the line basketball shoe. That's what they're supposed to be, right? What's the difference between, since you guys, some of y'all remember the 90s, what's the difference between a David Robinson shoe, a Jordan shoe, a Charles Barkley shoe? Or, excuse me, Patrick Ewing. What's the difference? They're all basketball shoes, right? They're all made for a purpose. I'm big on things having a purpose and using them for their intended purposes, or finding other ways to use them for more purposes than that. If I wanted to go out here and walk this trail, I wouldn't wear Jordans. But likewise, I wouldn't wear my cross-training trail shoes to go on the basketball court or to sit there and do squats in the gym. No. What up, Detroit? But that's me. I don't have anything against Jordans. I just don't buy overly expensive fucking tennis shoes. Tennis shoes are made to be worn and tossed. And even calling them a tennis shoe is a misnomer, because you don't use them all for tennis. Because tennis is a type of shoe that they usually sneak us. So, and Lion, now that I think about it, I do have a pair of work sneakers. You know what they are? They're some Vans. They're Vans. They're Vans and they're work attire Vans, so they don't have a smooth sole on the bottom. They have like an oil resistant, knobby, non-slip sole on the bottom of it, and then the material is waterproof and oil resistant. But they're Vans. They're gray and black. They're cool as shit. Yeah, I got a pair of work sneakers. No idea. I grew up wearing a lot of value brand sneakers. Yeah, because they just tennis shoes. Jordans was just supposed to be that best one. But when I got my first Jordan, David Robinson had his own shoe too. I think did Akeem Olajuwon have his own shoe? I knew Patrick Ewing had his own shoe. Barkley had his own shoe. Everybody had their own fucking shoe. Off of playing basketball. Yeah, I got a few pair of Vans too. I do. Look, for me, sounds like a divergence off of geek shit, but whatever. For me, being a sneakerhead wasn't about just owning a bunch of pair of Jordans. I had a bunch of different pair of sneakers. I had some Adidas. I got some black and white Adidas. Maybe I got some shell toes. I may have me some cross trainers. I may have a bunch of different type of shoes. I've had a bunch of different type of shoes in my lifetime, not just all Jordans. Because Jordan was the most expensive shoes to buy. Those are the ones that everybody chased. That's why I know my last pair was Ken Griffey. Those wasn't Jordans, but those were Nikes too. I really like those shoes. They look really cool. And I like Ken Griffey because I'm more of a baseball fan. But do I still have them? No, I do not. Because I outgrew them. And I've had big feet for a long time. Yeah, sneakerheads are geeks. Sneakerheads are geeks. They are. Because like we talked about it in the I Am series with Art Immore. Talked about how I define geek, and geek is pretty much anything that you're really into. You can geek out on all kinds of shit. Science, travel, food, cooking, fucking needlepoint woodworking, tennis shoes, cars, machinery, engineering. You can geek out on all kinds of shit. You can. It's not just comic books and movies or tabletop gaming or video games. Geek out on what you into. I just happen to geek out on a lot of goddamn things. And get really knowledgeable about a lot of them. He said, shout out to the East Bay. Where are you at in the Bay Area? You know about the East Bay. Yeah, shout out to the East Bay. Shout out to the Oakland A's. Make me smile, nigga. Bitch, you made me laugh. So, moving on to some other geek stuff. Mandalorian season 3. This is the year of threes, apparently. You know, Ant-Man started it off with Ant-Man 3. We got Creed 3 showing up, and then Mandalorian 3 showing up. It's like this 3, the year of the threes. A Renaissance geek. I'll accept that. I am. I will play D&D too. It just reminded me. I got an email that I forgot to answer back from my boy Kevin Baird, who I used to game with, texted me about some time to get together and game, do some tabletop gaming, not D&D. I don't think it was Pathfinder. It was something else that he was playing with the family. And I play with him because I like playing with him because they are legit nerds. They got PhDs and shit. They're nerds, computer nerds, programming nerds. but good people, very good people. I like my geek families. I really do. Really appreciated that in the shop because it showed that next generation not being indoctrinated, but being taught the values of geekdom and getting their well rounding in geekdom, actually reading comics in tactile form. And then getting to see their child grow up from a little girl to damn near a grown woman. And coming in, how she'd come in and she'd go right for the books. Start reading her books, seeing what's happening. Like seeing a kid with a book in their hands, especially when I can sell them. So, Mando 3. If you watched it, if you caught that episode, number 1, give me a 1 in the chat box. Let's see if I can piss off anybody else. Can wait. So, of course, the choice is yours. You can do with this. You can do with that. Oh, guess who else? Sports dog. Interesting. Only one person saw it, but 10,000 of you in here. Huh? That's a shame. That is really a shame. But it's still up. Platinum up. Shit, even Universal Studios is up. Yeah, bitch. Get off my Dean. I said he turned off his Disney Plus subscription. Oh, you one of the ones that was talking about on that investors call, huh? You one of the ones who hit them in their pocketbook because they was producing such dribble. Thank you for your support. Who was I talking to? Somebody was trying to tell me how to work the Disney Plus thing. Is that they cancel their subscription. They'll watch it for like a month, cancel their subscription, and then wait like 3 or 4 months, and then they'll re-up their subscription. And usually by that time they get some incentive. So they'll rock it for that 3 months that they get that incentive, and then once the incentive is gone, they cancel that shit again. But because they waited 3 months, they can catch up on everything they was missing in that 3 months and be all caught up with everybody else and didn't have to pay those months in between there. I was like, Jesus Christ. That kind of defeats the purpose, but okay. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not complaining about it, Aquatech. There's nothing wrong with voting with your wallet. Shit, if I had to do that, I think I need to stop YouTube streaming now. I think I'd have to stop streaming. So where it's appropriate. Where it's appropriate, yes. Yes, always vote with your wallet. I'm voting with mine right now. Said can't turn off the subscription is like crack to my nephews. Yeah, Disney is good for that. Disney is good for pimping some crack off on kids. What they tend to like. That's why I thought I had escaped until they created Disney Plus. Because it always was crack for kids. It always was. You got into some Disney stuff, you was locked in. Once my daughter got out of Disney stuff, excuse me, I thought I was good. Like, oh God, thank God, I ain't got to mess with Disney no more like that. Because mind you, I say Disney, not Walt Disney. I fuck with Walt Disney. Disney as a company was always like, these motherfuckers just don't care. And then they went and bought Marvel. I was like, damn it. That could be good for the movies, though, because they can pump some more money into it. They got it. That mouse got money. Okay. It might be okay. And they bought Star Wars, too. I was like, damn, the motherfuckers got me again. Fuck. They got me. They got two hooks in me like fucking Pinhead in this bitch. Got me. I ain't getting away from Marvel. I ain't getting away from Star Wars. They got me strung up, man. They got me arms akimbo. Then they start really going in. Can never escape the Matrix, bruh. Yeah, you can. Can. If you can never escape the Matrix, there is no Zion. You can. Some people, I forgot what they call it in Matrix terms. Was it transubstantiated? Wasn't that? Some other term. The kid did it. He woke himself up. Athletes at their peak, if you watch the Animatrix, athletes at their peak can break themselves out of the Matrix too. You can. Just if you want to push yourself that hard. Believe there's something more than just the Matrix. Or understand that there is a Matrix. And that there is no spoon. Like Scorpion, get over here. Exactly. They got me just like fucking Scorpion. Thank God Warner Brothers own them. Because Disney got me back. Just when I thought I was free, they pulled me back in. Just when I thought I was free. So I always knew it was like crack. They made some good stuff. Even in the 90s, some of the animated stuff was actually good. I don't care what nobody say. I loved Return of Jafar. That shit was fun to me. But as far as marketing and pimping stuff off on you, Disney is a master at that shit. They will get your kids hooked on that shit. And they will have them from cradle to grave. They will have them from cradle to grave. They will be a Disney kid. And if you wonder why some of these little munchkins is so hard to deal with, check out some of the stuff they're watching on Disney. Oh yeah. Yeah, I had to counteract Disney Channel many a time with my daughter because she was growing up on that shit. And yeah, that's children's programming, but it is programming with a capital P, homeboy. You got to be knowing what's going on in the show because Zach and Cody and iCarly almost got my daughter ass beat for real. Because if she kept thinking that was the way kids was supposed to behave, oh no. Not with an active parent in the house. No, sir. You will not be doing that shit. I don't know one say WB was the hash, but Disney was that boy. Yeah. Yeah, Disney's big dog with the kid programming. They beat out Nickelodeon. Disney Renaissance of late 80s/90s was something else. Yeah, it was. I mean, I grew up on Disney stuff, Shaggy Dog, Escape the Witch Mountain, Nutty Professor, stuff like that. Back in the 70s, 60s and 70s, Herbie the Love Bug and shit like that. I grew up on that shit, right? So I don't have no hate for Disney necessarily, but once they dropped the Walt off that bitch and they started being the Disney Corporation and they really start going hard like that, that's when it started really being detested. To me, it's like it's just too much. Like a Disney store, the motherfuckers start cropping up. You have to drag a kid past the store like that. Oh, like it was a fucking crack house. Like, no, man, we ain't going in there. Everything in that bitch is overpriced. No, I'm paying fucking $25 for a little sippy cup. Fuck you. Hell no. The fuck I'm walk out the other side of the mall. No diving. Max talking about diving. All right. So like, share, subscribe, support the show if you feel so inclined. So Mando season 3, episode 1. The watch for Mandalorian season 3 is up on Patreon, the Patreon channel, being Shop Talk with Artisan MC. It is up. The review is up. Did it pretty late, so don't trip off me if I'm trying to really think if I put it up or not. It was late. I was tired. That's what happens. Yeah. No one is stupid. Yes, no one. Yes, they're selling lightsabers now. They got that work. Yes, that's the whole reason. Look, there is nothing else I'm going to Disneyland, Galaxy's Edge for other than to get a lightsaber. That would be the only reason I go. That's the only reason I would go to Disneyland. I've been to Disneyland I don't know how many goddamn times. Dude, I've been going to Disneyland since I think I was like 5 or 6. My mother took us. I've been going to Disneyland forever. And I'm not bored with it, but it's like I've been, you know? Like, yeah, they got California Adventures and they put a lot of roller coasters there. Okay, that's good, but on the drive down to Disneyland, you stop by Magic Mountain, that's all roller coasters, bigger, better, faster. I'll just stop there. I'm not coming to Disneyland for roller coasters. Pirates of the Caribbean, Splash Mountain, Matterhorn, little Neptune shit, and fucking teacups. I'm Gucci. Little mouse ears. I'm good. Now I got to go get a lightsaber. Show up to get a lightsaber. That's it. I got to show up to get my lightsaber made. I got to print out of the pieces and everything. That's all I need to do. And to get me one of them Sith crystals. That's it. I actually have a lightsaber that my boy Zach got me from there. He made it for me. I do have one, but it's not that hard one. It's the extendable one, right? But it's not that hard one that you can get. That's the one I want. I've done my research on that bitch. I know how much it costs. I know where to go get it. So I show up to Disneyland. I'm gonna walk in that shit like the grocery store. I know exactly what I'm coming to get, and I'm gonna be in and out of that bitch in 30 minutes. So yeah, they got me coming and going right now. And they got the Mandalorian. They gotta have some good Mandalorian merch down there. Motherfuckers. Go with this shit. 1 second, you guys. Well, folks, that looks like it's going to be the ball game for today. And you have things aging and not being maintained. Things tend to break and go bad. And right now, there's water where it shouldn't be, and I need to go deal with that. So, I have to go. Thank you guys for coming through. I may come back. Maybe. Depends on if anybody is going to show up. Forgot to start the gang clock. Next, what do you say? Next episode, Infrastructure Geeks. Yeah, that's what I've been doing, Aquatechy. Yes, no. Yeah, if you guys look on my Instagram, you'll see the picture of what I was doing while I was listening to Dr. Tia Son and Layman do the review of Creed 3. I couldn't be on the stream because I was doing some other shit. But if you look on the Instagram, you'll see the picture of what I was dealing with because I did send it to Dr. Tia Son. So I'm just one of those people that I like people to know that I don't bullshit when I say what I say. I meant that shit and it was true. And I may be a dumb, honest man in a city full of liars, but it is what the fuck it is. It's just my life. It's just who I am. So if I couldn't make it, I wasn't bullshitting why I couldn't. I sent him a picture to show him this is why I cannot fucking make it. I'm seriously dealing with some shit right now. Fucking sewage calls. You gotta love them. Anyway, that's gonna be the show for now. I'll come back afterwards if I can. If it's not running into somebody else going live or doing something, I think BGS got a behind the wall coming up at 5 o'clock. Yeah, I think he do. So I let him do that. But I still have something to talk about because we got this Mando and we got The Last of Us, and I have to do the watch for The Last of Us tonight as well. I had some stuff I want to talk about with Quantum Mania, Dr. T's stream about the gynocracy, the gynopedestal, and yeah, that stream, and then Angry Man, The Rise of the Sigma Male, which was really insightful. Shout out to AM for actually inviting me to do a stream on his channel for geek stuff, which I was actually very honored that he even offered that. Honored. So there's some other stuff to talk about, but I'm gonna go and take care of this water situation. If you see me go live, come on through. Apologies for how this stream has been broken up in the beginning and in the middle. But like, share, subscribe. Click the bell if you subscribe. Support the stream if it feels so inclined. Thank you to everyone who did support the stream. This is not possible without your help. I do appreciate it. And gonna get out of here with a little Adonis, getting that little body shot, a little body work. But I'll see you guys next time. I'm actually really pissed off right now, y'all. I'm just trying to really maintain right now because I want to share some shit right now. But appreciate you guys for coming through. Stay tuned. Peace. See what I fucking mean?